Overnight, global markets are trying to look through a volatile mix of conflict, risk, and policy uncertainty. The Financial Times says investors are leaning into what it calls a bliss trade, a belief that economies and asset prices will stay resilient, helped by ongoing state support. In corporate news, proprietary trading firm Jane Street reported it earned about $10 billion in the first quarter, after doubling trading revenue, underscoring how market volatility is translating into outsized gains for some financial players. On global conflict, attention remains fixed on the Middle East and Eastern Europe. SBS and the Financial Times report the U.S.-Iran truce is fragile after renewed fighting in and around the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has accused the U.S. of a reckless military adventure, and the U.S. has confirmed strikes it says were in self-defense. The strait is a critical energy choke point, and any sustained disruption would quickly feed into global oil prices and inflation expectations, with flow-on effects for the global economy. In Europe, multiple outlets including the BBC, SMH, and Al Jazeera report U.S. President Donald Trump says Russia and Ukraine will observe a 3-day ceasefire from May 9 to 11, coinciding with Russia's Victory Day commemorations, alongside a large prisoner swap. The durability of any pause remains uncertain given prior accusations of violations around earlier ceasefires, but even a short truce could shape diplomatic positioning in coming weeks. On the technological revolution and artificial intelligence, the BBC reports the White House criticized actor Mark Hamill after he posted, then deleted, an AI-generated image involving the president. It's another reminder that synthetic media is now a mainstream political and reputational risk. Separately, The Conversation reports a major cybersecurity incident affecting the Canvas learning management platform, with hackers stealing data linked to about 9,000 schools and universities globally, including institutions in Australia. The incident sharpens questions about student privacy, third-party vendor risk, and how public and private organizations govern data access. Turning to Australia, the major domestic focus is Tuesday's federal budget. ABC News reports Treasurer Jim Chalmers is preparing a budget designed to create a stir, with tax reforms likely to reopen debates about intergenerational equity. The Conversation's View from the Hill says the budget will include reforms to negative gearing and capital gains tax, despite earlier commitments not to touch them, setting up a significant political contest over housing, fairness and revenue. The Guardian also flags the budget's political stakes alongside the Farah by-election, with the potential to shift the parliamentary and electoral landscape. On Australian public service and integrity, The Conversation reports Health Minister Annika Wells has repaid more than $10,000, including a penalty, after an audit found 4 travel claims breached rules. Expect renewed scrutiny of ministerial expenses and compliance systems. On national security and social cohesion, SBS reports new crimes against humanity charges linked to his group matters, alongside unanswered questions about the fate of children connected to Middle Eastern detention camps. SBS also reports the Anti-Semitism Royal Commission has wrapped its first week of hearings, with key takeaways now on the record as the inquiry continues. Finally, locally, SBS reports thousands gathered across the country to honor 5-year-old Kumanjae little baby, with a message delivered on behalf of her mother, as Alice Springs and the nation continue to grapple with the circumstances and broader community impact.